and maybe GBA, the 12th seeds, will be the first seeded pairing to depart. It is Sanderson and Melling to lag. And it's Sanderson who wins and therefore gives Jayson Shaw the break.
Thank you. The first right. Great Britain A to break.
This one? Yeah.
Foul stroke. Ball in hand. Start the clock, please.
Yes, and to compound the problems, look at how the balls have spread apart. There's not a cluster anywhere.
And it was funny to me that was a nice shot there and pretty ideal position. It was funny to me that Chris brought up the nerves for Sanderson a little bit in the interview. And to me, at times, that's what's gotten the best of Chris Melling in the biggest moments. Of late, let's say. But he's playing a lot of pool, so.
Technically, there's nothing that can go wrong because his cue action is a delight.
Yeah, and I think one thing that hasn't been discussed much, and maybe overlooked just because of how solid he is Imran. Imran's one of those guys that, of course, he doesn't have all the accolades of some of the players in the event, but when it comes to doubles, he's kind of tailor-made to fit with a lot of guys, not only mentally but physically, knows the game, you know, and is not going to get rattled too much. All right, he's got a draw stroke. He may come all the way back, depending on the angle here. This is kind of straight. So sometimes the guys will come all the way back to the bottom rail and then back out to judge the speed. And making quick work of this first rack.
Great Britain B wins the first rack.
All Shaw did was break and scratch. Great Britain B did the rest. There is precedent for a B team to win a World Cup in Q Sports. In 2015, China B won the Snooker World Cup. Remarkable story. A 17-year-old and a 15-year-old at the time, Zhou Yulong and Yan Bingtao, captured the title. Is this GB second team going to come up trumps? Well, they've certainly made an agreeable start.
Well, to me, an interesting choice for Great Britain A, and a couple of reasons. It seems the table on day 2 here is breaking pretty nice from both rails. So I figure no matter who's breaking to pocket a ball. But also, Jayson's such a great lagger usually. It was surprising to me to see Elliott lag. And then also surprising to see Shaw break first, because I would like to have Shaw coming in for that first shot myself.
There you can see Imran Majid from London returning to the Great Britain fold in the World Cup for the first time in 3 years.
Thank you, rack 2. Great Britain B to break. Leading 1 rack to nil.
Well, B team is going to love this, and you know these players very well. Of course, they all know each other very well. But do you think the team B, Great Britain B, is playing with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder in this match?
I don't think I know, especially Melling.
Yeah.
He's a little off angle here, drawing the ball. Maybe on top of the 3 a little bit. Okay, he slid it over. Smart shot.
Shot. Shot.
Well, that was surprising. It must have been a bit thinner than I thought. Most would play that 6 ball in the lower right. And again, quick work here in game number 2.
What a start by the unseeded B team. Imran Majid, as he did in the first rack, taking the applause from the crowd, acknowledging them and saying, yeah, I'm doing pretty well. 2-0 up, and everything is going according to plan from our perspective.
Saying it's boiling, and you're not going to struggle. It's not that hot, is it?
Chris Melling is such a good cueist, and he's got a fine career in pool. You know, he's won on the Euro Tour in Portugal. He's been a Mosconi Cup MVP. He's won the Derby City Classic 9-ball as recently as 3 years ago, and he's also a China Open champion as well in 2011. As for Jayson Shaw, he has done more individually, but of course he's playing with a much less experienced partner than Melling.
Yeah, and besides the lag, has not got to strike the cue ball yet.
Right, first game as well. Broke dry as well. Broke dry as well. Yeah, I made the cue ball.
Yeah, but you hit the wrong side at the start, didn't you?
Yeah, but I should have played broke from the other side though, because that's where it's been
Right
broken
three.
down, you know what I mean?
Great Britain B to break, leading 2 racks to 0.
From the horse's mouth there, Jeremy, taking your advice belatedly.
Well, I think the right side rail is breaking okay. I like the left a little bit better, but just as Elliott said, it was more about him crossing the 1 over. That's why he had the dry break and obviously the scratch. Won't be so quick in this rack for Great Britain B. I don't think he can get at the 1. Awfully close.
Down here and try and tie it with them.
Yeah, that's not a bad move. Yeah.
The only problem is
What other options?
we don't really have many other options.
There isn't many others, yeah. He's going to put you back probably, so
Yeah, it's all right.
think about it, yeah.
Push out.
Push out.
Tight up, tight.
I wouldn't be surprised if they passed this. And it's funny, from where they were, they could have crossed the 1 over, but they would have got a kiss. Now they're on the same line, but the distance away makes a huge difference on being able to dodge the double kiss on the 1. You have a little more time to swerve the ball into the 1, which helps you create missing the double kiss.
Otherwise, it's going to come here and try and go one
Yeah.
way or the other.
I think they're going to give this back. They have to.
Otherwise, it's a tough shot.
Now what Melling is going to try and do is kick behind the 1 and creep the cue ball up on the 3. This is a pretty advanced shot. And real first, I'll tell you, in the last 10 years or so, has anyone made more amazing shots than this man at the table?
Extension.
You know, on
Extension.
the slick
Extension call.
table, if he really tries to get up under it, I think this is a scratch possibility. On your club table, no, not so much. I'd probably kick at a very light speed here. Yeah, you see how the cue ball came back a bit, dodged the scratch, and got away with the snooker.
Extension.
Extension called.
Both teams taking their extension early in this rack. It's a 30-second shot clock with one 30-second extension per team per rack.
Beauty there, and really just had to turn the cue ball loose. Emphasis on pocketing the one. And the reason why he put a little more speed, of course, more comfortable, but you saw the one ball slide a bit more. Softer speed, it tends to bounce a bit. It makes the ball a little more missable. The shot here is looking like maybe Great Britain B will be bringing out the jump cue here in a moment. It's got to go a bit.
Didn't make the journey, Jeremy. Sanderson saying poor shot. I think he just caught it a hair too thick. One thing he was conscious of, the shot clock. He's not that experienced playing with a shot clock, and around the 10-11 second mark, he looked up to see where he stood.
Yeah, Jayson's got to be on top of that as well, understanding that not only if you're playing with a partner that has plenty of experience, they're thinking about the shot, so you need to be paying attention to the shot clock a little bit. Now, Imran and Elliott both had pretty good UK Opens overall, so we get some TV time there on some of the slicker tables. Gonna have to let the stroke out here.
Such a good potter, Chris Melling. Such a fine technician, and he's one of those players, when he's playing well, he makes the game look preposterously easy. How about this? What a start. Chris Melling and Imran Majid, are they making Welcome back to Brentwood. A ringing phone somewhere in the audience. Rather annoying. Please turn it off, sir. At least it wasn't during a rack.
Thank you, rack 4. Great Britain B to break, leading 3 racks to 0.
Yeah, another great break off, probably 60-70% there, and just absolutely ideal for Team Great Britain B. No mistakes so far.
While we were on commercial break, I could hear the comments from the players in their seats, and Chris Melling said we've got to keep them in their chairs, just keep potting balls, and when we don't, keep them tight. Now, it seems a very simplistic formula, that, I understand, but clearly that's one that works against anyone.
Yeah, when the table's playing like this, you know, you have to play percentages, but if you're on the fence, these guys are going to stay aggressive. So we may see a big shot come along. It's not going to be in this rack, obviously, but it will make a huge difference in this match. And quite a bit of discussion between Sanderson and Shaw also on the break. Staying pretty positive, but also discussing the table a little bit.
Got all the time in the world, pal.
Did you roll enough there? Yeah, he did, to make things easy.
Four racks in the books, 2 break and runouts, and all of them have gone to GB B. Imran Majid smiling over at his fellow countrymen, but also his opposition. Jayson Shaw and Elliott Sanderson, who's making his debut in this tournament, are in trouble quickly, Jeremy.
Yeah, very much so, and that I wouldn't say totally that that opening scratch set the tone, but what it did is it gave Team B time at the table with ball in hand, and we know what the percentages are with these great players with ball in hand, and just that early easy time at the table I think settled these guys, and they're playing like they have somewhere to be later, Phil. I'll tell you, wasting no time.
I think it's also worth noting that both of these teams know that if they can get through this very tough test in round 1, they will be the favourites, whoever they play in the last 16. No match is easy here, I'm not suggesting that. But with the Philippines having to pull out because Efren Reyes had visa issues, it means that GBB or A will take on either South Africa or Thailand. Now, Thailand have a couple of snooker players representing them, not a great deal of pool experience. So there's no doubt that the winner of this match will be favourite to make it into the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I would agree, but South Africa has shown some class here of late here in London. Had some nice wins in the UK Open. Another clean shot on the 2. I'll tell you, it's been just ideal after the break for Team B.
I wonder what's going through the mind of Jayson Shaw lately in Matchroom events. He's not been a factor, and normally that is the opposite case. 33rd at the UK Open, beaten in the first round of the World Pool Masters. Didn't get an awful lot of table time against Mieszko Faczynski, and now he's getting very little table time here.
Yeah, a subject that I wanted to bring up when he got to the table, but we'll see when that happens, is he's changed his cues quite a bit. He's gone away from the long cue Been playing with that now some 6 years, I think. So interested to see under the pressure how he would perform, changing equipment.
Jayson Shaw's one ball, the solitary pot achieved by Great Britain A so far. Elliott Sanderson has not one in.
I think just 3 strokes of the cue for Great Britain A so far, and everything perfect for GBB at the moment.
Great Britain B wins the rack.
How about this? Imran, Majid and Chris Melling. There's no doubt that Jeremy Jones was onto something. These two have got plenty of incentive. Yes, they're on good terms with the GBA team, but boy, do they want to win. It's a burning desire to prove a point and get through, and now they're just 2 racks away from doing so.
Kind of position, and then we work it out.
Yeah, the shot of left is a little bit awkward because if you just roll it, probably so.
Yeah.
So on this clock, on 7%.
Yeah. I'm
The
experienced.
stats for the match make telling reading. Pod success rate for Great Britain A, 100%. The only thing is they've only gone for 1 ball. Gone for 1, knocked it in. So what, really? Pod success rate for Great Britain B, also 100%. They've knocked in 44 balls out of 44. And right now, it is essential for Great Britain A somehow to wrest the breakaway from the B team. But how do you do that? The break-off of GBB, Jeremy, I think has been the most effective we've seen of anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And shots after the break will kind of make you think it's been the best break so far, but
Rack 6.
it really has, because they've hit it so squarely. Really, there hasn't been, I would say, any luck with the cue ball, and we'll see if Melling can keep it going. Well, those were hit pretty square. We're going to have our first dry break and possibilities for GBA.
And Melling raises the hand in acknowledgement of the fact that, yeah, he's broken dry, but the 2 is blocking the 1.
Yeah, but I think GBA, Shaw, and Sanderson don't mind it. A little rail first. They got to create something here, but they're happy to try it, I tell you. If he makes this, he should come some 3 rails, maybe between the 6-7 back up for the 2. Oh, he's hitting it soft. He's trying to play it light. That's hard to do. I may have let it go there, Phil. I tell you, that was sitting very delicate to go rail first and hold position.
Draw the cue ball here.
Kick.
2 ball here. Cue ball over here. Jump it. Yeah, draw it here. Got to extension. Make sure you get the cue ball behind the 9.
The problem here is if he cuts this too much, he could lose the cue ball. And he's got to cut it some to get by the 4 and bang the 2 around table.
Shot.
No doubt, Jeremy, here, what the chain of command is. Jayson says something, he does it. There's no debate.
Yeah, and I think, you know, Elliott, I think he has full confidence in his partner as far as decisions. Surprising jump here, though. I mean, he can bend this kick around the 8, it looks like to me.
Extension called.
And when you're this close, jumping this far away, any miss hit on the cue ball, you usually whiff the 2 because you curve it a bit. So he's got to be dead on here. No side spin. Tell you what, these guys have come to play. Great Britain B. I feel you really couldn't have controlled that much better if you could see the 2 without the jump cue, just playing it with your regular cues. So I if you make a few mistakes and you're facing a team playing so well, you got to try to earn that first game a lot of times. It's a battle. Watch out, Nineball.
Majid's great jump safety has worked the oracle.
Okay, just got to get past the middle diamond on the left long rail coming across the table. No reason to threaten touching the 5 here. He came twice. That was a surprise to me. I don't know if I would have done that. You got to realize how great your partner is behind. He can handle a little cut shot on the 4, and the first mental error, I think. If you look at the 4, right, you always want the near pocket, but the 4 is just barely past the middle of that top rail, so both pockets would have been fine.
And as you say, Jeremy, the potting prowess of Melling has never been in question.
Yeah, there's a beautiful speed there, and knowing the cue ball is going towards that corner. Now Jayson's just got to tell him to kick to the top rail with top English. If you cut the 4 a hair, you can come behind the 9 and 5. You don't have to hit it that hard on the slick table for this top English to kind of become draw. He's putting left. That's a mistake. This may deaden up. No. Okay, should come behind the 9 with the cue ball here. Just chop the 4 and run the cue ball 1 rail behind the 5-9.
20 seconds.
Another terrifically played hook. Chris Melling is Imran Majid's timekeeper. When he was down on that shot, you might have heard Melling say 20 seconds. He's letting him know how long left on the shot clock without him looking up and taking himself off.
Yeah, and that's more to let him know not to worry. You know, if there was something alarming, it would be different. But just to let Imran know he's got plenty of time. And now a 4 on the side should lead towards a 6th game in a row for GBB.
Well, I know after the UK Open, Jayson Shaw told me he was going to go home to Connecticut and play a little bit of golf. In golf, you try and escape hooks. And that's what he's been doing predominantly in this match, escaping hooks. And eventually, if you're in enough of them, it leads to trouble.
And he's playing 2 very seasoned guys that, you know, you kick out of one safety, they'll just play another. You kick out another safety, they're not going to give in. And you saw it or heard it earlier in the discussion on the break. Needs to go a little bit just to give him a little angle. Should be plenty. I like Imran taking that little extra time right there. These are easy shots, but almost not missable for these type, as long as they don't get in a hurry.
You have to seriously wonder, is the undisputed reign of the season
Is it Chris break or my break?
Chris brought last time, didn't he? It's alternate break, so it's your break.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
alternate break.
just wanna get-
Yeah. No, that's fine, that's fine.
Yes, we'll take a break regardless of who pops in. So you broke last time. Yeah, shoulder break.
Yeah, they've just been last.
They're going to come back to medium tackling and floor and Phil's going to go.
Two teams from the home nation here at the World Cup of Pool, but the hopes of Great Britain A are hanging by a thread. They trail Chris Melling and Imran Majid of Great Britain B 6-0, and of course, it is Majid to break
Rack
off
7.
in rack
Great
7.
Britain
He's
B
in
to
confident
break.
mood.
Leading 6
Mila
racks
from
to nil.
Matchroom came in between racks there and offered the players some wet towels to cool themselves down, and he said, don't worry, we don't need them. We'll be finished in a couple of minutes.
He's feeling good about things, Imran, and really one of the most humble guys you'll meet a lot of times. But maybe hanging around with Chris, the confidence has risen a little bit, and it's shown on the table so far. Now this is where you really kind of, unless you're really liking the shot, don't give in. 6-0, I understand, but no time to make a highlight reel unless you're really in love with it.
Sure.
So he can slide all over the pocket. You playing? Put it here. Extension.
Extension call.
Yeah, Jayson's got to take this shot on here. Can't pass this to Elliott. Great shot.
Okay.
And that wasn't anything natural about that. That was all manufactured, that angle coming off the one. You notice him cueing with English, a little down angle with the cue stick. And Jayson's not giving up, that's for sure.
$15 seconds, Paul.
Extension.
Extension call.
It might seem a gamble to take your extension as early as the one ball, but when players identify it as a crucial ball, why not?
Yeah, and he could get a little action on the 9 here. I'll tell you, there are a couple shots that Great Britain A would like to have back, but you really got to hand it to Great Britain B. They've really taken over this match from the start.
And a couple of jump shots from Imran Majid. One a pot we've just seen there, and the other a safety. Right out of the top draw. Now look at this. Who could have possibly foreseen this scoreline? Simply amazing. I think Jayson Shaw might have another descriptive term for it than amazing.
Well, this is funny here. Does he get by the 6? And if he adds enough speed to get around for shape, does he catch the 6 going by? Okay, Okay, yeah, they're dead on. Oh, he caught the 7. Should be okay, though. Cue ball came off the rail, so a cuttable 6 ball.
$20 seconds.
Yeah, it's all right.
No extension.
Yeah, he's just got to worry about the 8 and 9 really getting involved in this shot. Looks like he's playing safe. Okay. And again, not trying to give an inch to this team. You can see the respect at even 6-0.
That's the shot from here, bud. Can you get him behind that? Yeah. About 26. It's going to slide a lot, mate. When you kick this, it's going to squirt to the right. Just draw, a little bit of draw? Yeah. About 10 seconds left. It's nice.
And that could be that. Sanderson turns away in abject disappointment. He's not potted a ball, but in fairness to him, he's not had one to pot.
No, I was totally going the same direction. I mean, obviously the speed was off. It was a tough kick, but really hasn't had a chance to get the arm loose at all. It's been just a couple delicate safeties, a kick shot for Elliott, and, you know, past getting beat in this match, and that's inevitable, it seems. But feel a little bad he didn't get much play time here at the World Cup.
That wasn't the easiest cueing, but Melling delivered the cue poker straight. And unlike most matches here, this isn't about a place in the last 16 primarily. It's about bragging rights. Let it be! The A-team haven't just been beaten, defeated. They've been humbled and whitewashed. Chris Melling and Imran Majid had a point to prove. And boy, did they prove it emphatically. Great Britain B defeat Great Britain A 7-0. And they are, Shaw and Sanderson, the first seeded team to depart from the World Cup this year.